All right, Andrew Easton here with the ESUCC and Eileen Barks of ESU2, and we're excited to share a few ideas for leading whole group discussion remotely. So thanks, Eileen, and we look forward to learning from you.
Oh, thanks so much. This is one of my passions. I love thinking about how teachers can do exactly what they were doing in their face-to-face environment in a digital environment. And I am also a fan of teacher clarity, so I feel like these learning and leading discussions fall right under there. Students have to know what they're learning today, why they're learning it, the relevance of it, and how will they know that they learned it, and the success criteria. And when you lead a fabulous classroom discussion, all of those will be in there. So thinking about the first thing, focus on what students know and don't know. So that's kind of misleading there, right? Of course, we're teachers, we're going to focus on what students really don't know, but we want to make sure that we don't dwell on what the known is. We really focus in our short snippets on what the unknown is. Use your time to teach the things that they have to have you there face to face for. Don't spend that time on the stuff that they don't need you there. They can do that asynchronously. And so shorter trumps longer. Thinking about short little snippets and breaking up your classroom discussions and your classroom teaching into short little snippets. So students also, we need to address those social and emotional needs. There's some things, big things going on right now. Some kids feel really safe in this environment and some kids really don't. And so address that elephant in the room. Make sure that you talk about those things. Make sure you ask those questions. We want your students to belong in those digital classrooms, just like in the face-to-face ones. Now, there is a bit.ly that's attached to this slide, and in the notes portion is a slideshow of all sorts of welcoming activities that you can do with your students. And they go address some social, emotional needs. They address some fun types of things, even like checking in and saying, how you feeling today? Using the chat to say, I'm feeling good today, I'm feeling not so good. Maybe even posting 4 pictures up on your screen and identify with one of those 4 pictures and how you feeling about that today. Even using classroom jobs. Use classroom jobs in your face-to-face classroom. Have a classroom job in your digital classroom. Have a success monitor, a class greeter, a brain break coach, all of those different things. That would be great. Another one you want to think about is creating time for social interaction for your students in this discussion. So I have 2 ideas here. One is a fishbowl to teach kids how to discuss in your classroom. Like, what are the expectations, right? Do they have to add things to the chat? Do they have to vocalize certain things? Do they use thumbs up, thumbs down? But use a fishbowl. Take some of your kids and model this for the rest of your kids while they're just watching, and then have them reflect. Another thing you can do is a spiderweb discussion, where you introduce a topic, you pose a question, and then get out of the way and just let the kids discuss it. While they're discussing that topic, let's say you're teaching about the Constitution, you record who is doing the talking. You record how long they're doing, how many times they interacted. You record all that. And then after the discussion, show that information to the students. Show them what's happening. Have them reflect on who participated. Why did they participate? How, did somebody dominate the conversation? Did somebody not participate in the conversation? But all of those different things that go with those discussions, and good discussions that we want. And then we want to make sure that we use timely feedback for the students. I already mentioned thumbs up, thumbs down, putting things in the chat, but let technology do the heavy lifting for those things. Let your LMS grade some things. Do a forms on Google Docs. Use Padlet to get some feedback to the students. Use Mote to get some voice back and help them with that reflection, and use Flipgrid for those things. So here's just 4 ideas to think about for your discussions and teacher clarity, and I hope they help you. Thanks so much.
Yeah, that was terrific, Eileen. I would round that out too, just thinking a little bit about also the opportunity of maybe asking students questions ahead of time so that they can bring their answers. I know in the Zoom setting, sometimes students are a little self-conscious to share out when they're not confident about the response that they have. And so any sort of think, pair, share activity ahead of time, or even having those questions early would be terrific as well. Love the list that you have here. Thanks so much for sharing. And definitely check out some of our other videos on this site, as I think they could really be helpful to you, along with the resources as you look to be successful in this remote space.